As promised, here is my little vise or clamp I use to glue the handles. I use this mainly for the style where I don't have a hidden dowel, so you can see it from the front. There is still no dowel here. I usually make them at the end. There would be one simply slipping in there like that. Now when I'm gluing the handle, I already had the materials drilled. This one is even with a metal spacer. So you want to have it pre-drilled, otherwise you will simply unglue it with the heat when drilling it. Now the main problem is, when you are gluing the handle, is to make sure that the alignment remains intact. To do that, when I put the handle in the vise, I have an opening in the top, and since I'm using a slow curing epoxy, I can slide in like a temporary dowel or something like that inside the handle when it is still just being put together, clamp it, and then remove the dowel out. It also actually helps to eliminate the glue that would leak slightly inside, because you simply smear it with the temporary dowel, then you just wipe it off. And I repeat it in 5 minutes or so to make sure that things didn't move, because the glue at that point is still not settled, still not cured. So, and then I leave it simply to cure until the next day. And when I take it out, I never had an issue of misalignment. This handle is not directly after gluing. I glue them when they are still thicker, simply because it is easier to square up larger areas. If I would be gluing handle this narrow, it would be pretty tough to get the contact area flat. It always tends to, to round slightly when you're hand sanding on a block or something. So this simple clamp, really, as you can see, just too long. Well, it's cruel, but you know what I mean. And very simple clamp. It works better for this purpose than this kind of thing. This works well as too. I have used these many times, but these are not perfectly parallel, and you are not always sure whether the pressure is being applied evenly in both sides, on all sides of the handle being clamped. So it works, but it works better if the blocks are on the bigger side, so you can be sure that the clamp is clamping the handle properly. If it is narrower, you have more risk of getting uneven pressure, and thus possibly some gaps. This one looks pretty good to me, so hopefully this will turn into a nice handle eventually. So that would be it.